Greetings, I'm Havin Sikero G. Cordova, 6SSES from Kupang Elementary School. Today we are going to discuss the Venn diagram, compare and contrast sources of information, ratio, and food chain. We have different sources of information like print materials, broadcast materials, and online materials. Let us discuss each of the resources one by one. Print materials consist of all written printed materials. Examples are books, magazines, newspapers, and journals. How about broadcast materials? Resources transmitted to the public through radio and television. News, weather forecasts, documentaries, movies, and sports are examples of broadcast materials. Lastly, we have online materials, learning resources that are made available online. Examples are e-books, mobile apps, social media, and emails. Let's move on to the compare and contrast. Compare, to tell what is alike or the same between two things. Contrast, to tell what is different between two things. A Venn diagram is a graphic organizer that has two circles that overlap in the middle. Is to tell what is alike and the sides is to tell what is different. Let us compare GEMDAS and PEMDAS using Venn diagram. GEMDAS stands for G, grouping symbols, E, exponent, M, multiplication, D, division, A, addition, S, subtraction. While PEMDAS, P, parenthesis, E, exponents, M, multiplication, D, division, A, addition, and S, subtraction. Ten times 5 plus 3 to the second power minus 4 divided by 2 times 1 equals 50 plus 3 to the second power minus 4 divided by 2 times 1 equals 50 plus 9 minus 4 divided by 2 times 1 equals 50 plus 9 minus 2. How to use PEMDAS to solve expressions. Example, 4 plus 2 times 3 to the third power minus 10 times 2. Parenthesis, 4 plus 2 times 3 to the third power minus 10 times 2. Exponents, 4 plus 6 to the third power minus 10 times 2. Multiplication, division, 4 plus 216 minus 10 times 2. Addition, subtraction, 4 plus 216 minus 20. The total answer is 200. A ratio is a comparison between the two quantities of two things. Example, there are 3 triangles and 2 squares. We can write the ratio as 3:2, or 3:2, or 3/2. Let us create 3 food chains from this food web. Example number 1. Butterfly will eat the lavender. The frog eats the butterfly. The snake eats the frog. The ratio from living things to non-living things is 4:0 because as we can see they are all living things. Example number 2. Fruit fly will the mangoes. The dragonfly eats the fruit fly. Thrush eats the dragonfly, and eagles eats the thrush. The ratio from living things to non-living things is 4 to 0 because as we can see, they are all living things. Example number 3. Butterfly will eat the flower plants. The frog eats the butterfly. Python eats the frog, and eagle eats the python. The ratio from living things to non-living things is 5 to 0 because as we can see, they are all living things. We have the producers 1 to 3 consumers. What happens when the living things die? Decomposers such as worm, bacteria, and fungi get their energy from dead plants and animals. The nutrients trapped in dead organisms are released back into the soil, allowing the plants to grow. An ecosystem is a community made up of living and non-living things interacting with each other. Non-living things do not grow, need food, or reproduce. Living things grow, change, produce, waste, reproduce, and die. Some examples of living things are organisms such as plants, animals, fungi, and bacteria. What are the 3 types of interaction in ecosystem? The term symbiosis includes a broad range of species interactions but typically refers to 3 major types: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. How do living things and non-living things interact in the ecosystem, including rainforests, coral reefs, and mangrove swamps? They serve as the breeding ground of marine life. They serve as a habitat for marine animals such as fish, crustaceans, mammals, mollusks, cnidarians, echinoderms, and sponges. Together, the coral reef and mangrove ecosystems form a barrier that protects shorelines from the destructive forces of wind, waves, and driven debris. Some examples of important non-living things in ecosystem are sunlight, temperature, water, air, wind, rocks, and soil. Living things grow, change, produce, waste, reproduce, and die. These living things interact with the non-living things around them such as sunlight, temperature, water, and soil. Always remember, God created a beautiful world for all of us. In return, let us preserve, protect, and conserve the environment.